Well, as I suspected when I was watching episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett, the internet right now is just trolling the hell out of the speeder bike chase that happened between the cyborg punks and the major domo of the mayor, Mok Shaiz. So far, I've had a lot of opinions about the Book of Boba Fett, and it has irked me in a lot of instances. I would say episode 1 always has the benefit of the doubt because it's a pilot episode. It could be clunky or it could start off the gate right. Episode 2, we saw that things were picking up. The Hot Twins were introduced. Of course, Black Chrysanthemum was back in live action. That was awesome. Episode 3, I think, is where the series has definitely hit a wall. Essentially, if you think about it, the story has barely moved along. Episode 3 felt like a recycled episode. The Hot Twins were just introduced, and then immediately in the next episode, they're gone. So basically, in reality, they serve no function, only to give Boba a rancor and to warn him, possibly, about the Pikes. He would eventually find out himself. However, the fight with Black Chrysanthemum was kind of cool, although again, it was very much Disneyfied. It was very pacifistic. Nobody got hurt really. There was no blood. There was no nothing. Even though Boba got 4 spikes on his face by Black Chrysanthemum by a Wookiee. He got punched in the face, and in the next scene, there's nothing there. Boba just came out unscathed. So honestly, so far, the series has had its ups and downs. I'm hanging around to see if it's gonna pick up. However, we gotta talk about the chase scene in episode 3, which even in my review, if you go back when the episode came out, I was not a fan of, because not only was it the slowest speeder chase, not only in Star Wars history, but I think in general in movie history. But the fact that this quote-unquote gang of misfits are using multicolored, shiny, bright Vespas to ride around Tatooine, one of the most dirty planets that you can find in the Star Wars galaxy. Everything about it screams not Star Wars. But again, I always try to be fair. I know that there's a lot of people who criticize this new gang and will be called a hater. I don't want to give out the feeling that I'm a hater. I'm an avid Star Wars supporter. I love everything that Star Wars produces and I want to watch it. I love Star Wars. I've loved it since I was a kid. So I'm going to try to be fair and actually talk about both reasons, both in the universe reason and out of universe reason, and answer the question, why was this speeder chase so awful and so bad? Believe it or not, there might be a real reason behind it. As you guys know, in episode 3, Boba Fett recruits this young misfit gang who goes around stealing water and such. From what I can see, although it was not explained to us, they are off-worlders, because if they're not, then it doesn't make sense. Why would they purchase all these mechanical upgrades to their bodies and not just have the money to buy water? One of these things doesn't make sense. So I presumably, again, I'm going to say, they are off-worlders and they just came on Tatooine. So Boba, after recruiting the shiny Vespa gang, they go to Mok Shaiz to clear things up. The Major Domo, though, escapes Boba Fett, and now this gang has to chase him around Mos Espa so that Boba can confront him and actually get the answers he has been seeking for. What follows next is maybe the worst and maybe childish chase that we have ever seen. Why was this actually the case? Well, let's start with the in-universe reason first, and then we're going to go to the out-of-universe reason. The in-universe reason is, I think logically we can deduce that the streets of Mos Espa, the streets of Mos Eisley, and so forth, these are very tight quarters. If you have a very high-speed chase around these streets, then not only are you going to do a lot of material damage, but you could kill a lot of people, because not only is it tight quarters, but there's a lot of people just moving around from side to side without having their attention on the quote-unquote road, because that's the problem with these streets. They are half streets, half walking grounds. So it could possibly be that in the in-universe explanation is that the tight quarters made it for a very slow speeder chase. Even with the slow pace, we saw that they got tangled often. But the out-of-universe explanation, in reality, I think that the Book of Boba Fett does not have the budget that The Mandalorian had. Just some quick things that I've noticed to tell me that the budget is not that great is that the Book of Boba Fett basically has sitcom stages. And that's why the show has been kind of labeled boring, because we kind of only see 3 to 4 stages in total. We have the back to pod stage, we have the throne room, we have the street where the mayor has his office. I'm assuming these Mos Espa streets are repurposed from The Mandalorian 2. So out of the box, you could see that Boba Fett does not have a lot of leeway. It has very few stages and that's it. For the other things, they rely on CG. Whereas in The Mandalorian, we see Mando and Grogu traveling from planet to planet every episode. We're exploring things, we're going here, we're going there. That has been the majorest issue going from The Mandalorian to now Boba Fett. And that's why the Book of Boba Fett series seems so boring at times, because there's not a lot of diversity like it was in The Mandalorian. I don't know if it's fair to compare, of course. I'm just noticing the obvious, and that I think is the out-of-universe explanation of why the chase looked so bad, because even the 3D looked extremely awful at times. All in all, I think episode 3 was definitely a missed opportunity, just a wasted episode. So I presume that now with the Pikes and with a verified threat, the Book of Boba Fett will definitely pick up more as the episodes go along. So what do you guys think? Do I have it right? And what would you want to see changed in the Book of Boba Fett for it to become more enticing and be better as a show? Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you. Until then.